everybody, welcome back. This is Kim. Thanks for clicking on this video. I assume that you saw the title and you have an iOS device. Otherwise, this would probably make no sense to you. But anyways, if you have an iOS device and you have recently upgraded to iOS 15, I've got 11 setting changes that you should make right now. It'll save your battery and boost your privacy and reduce the amount of data that you use. So let's get started. Got an Apple device? Please watch this video and make the changes. Some will save battery power, some will reduce your data usage, and others will just plain protect your privacy. I read lots of articles and watched lots of videos to make this list. I just recently updated my phone and I went in and made all these changes, and all the changes that I am recommending did not negatively affect my experience on my phone at all. So yeah, some of these may not apply to you or may sound silly or maybe things you don't want to change, but watch the entire video first and then you could go back through and look at the screens and see if you want to actually make the change. So I'm going to break them down into categories so you can skip back and forth to the category that you'd like to protect: battery, privacy, or data. Some fall into more than one category. Hopefully that's clear. Okay, so the first one will be privacy settings. These, I think, are the most important ones. So iOS 15, privacy settings, protect yourself. Okay. So setting number 1 is a privacy setting. Apps are tracking you. They definitely are. They track you as you use other apps and watch websites you visit. Also, they can advertise directly to you. Who knows what else they do with that data? I don't know. I'm sure there's other nefarious things that they do. So let's go in and turn off the Allow Apps to Request to Track setting. Here is where it's located. You go into your settings, that little gear, click on privacy, then tracking. Right there on top, just slide it to off. If it was previously on, you'll have a list of sites down below. After you slide this to off, the next time you open up any of those apps, it will ask you if you want to allow them to continue to track you. If you say no, then it says it will ask them to stop tracking you. This was kind of strange to me, and I couldn't find an answer, so I'm not really sure, but what if they don't agree to stop? I don't know. Is it aware that you can tell that they're still tracking you? I don't know. So that's an interesting setting, but it's new, so I'm sure there's going to be some bugs, and I'm sure there'll be an update coming out soon that will fix whatever doesn't work, but I found that interesting that it says they will ask them to stop tracking you. Anyway, slide it to off. You don't need them tracking you. Okay, setting number 2 is also a privacy setting. Mail senders are tracking you. They track you with hidden trackers that are sent to you embedded inside emails that you're sent. Usually newsletters, sales, emails, that sort of thing. So let's turn on the mail privacy protection setting. So you go to your settings, which is that gear, scroll down to mail, then choose privacy protection. This is not turned on by default, so go ahead and turn it on. This will stop email senders from setting your IP address when you open a message, as it routes your message through multiple proxy servers and then randomly assigns you a different IP address. So they won't be able to see the email senders from seeing. This is not seeing right here. This is supposed to say right here. It's supposed to say seeing your IP address. So that's a good one. So setting number 3 is also a privacy setting. Apple also tracks you. Apple obviously has access to everything you do on your phone and can hear you talk, etc. But we can reduce the things we allow them to gather on us. Now, it doesn't mean they're not going to continue, but at least we're not giving them permission. So let's turn off the analytics and improvement setting. So go into settings, scroll down to privacy, then go all the way down to the bottom of the screen and choose analytics and improvements. You will see 3 different settings sliders. Let me go there real quick on my phone here so I can tell you exactly what they are. For some reason, I didn't put them. So privacy, scroll all the way down to analytics and improvement. Okay, so if it's on, oh gosh. Oh, I guess I can't do this because it's making me go get my watch, and my watch is upstairs. Anyways, there's 3 different setting sliders. Turn off the top one and all 3 will turn off. Mine's already off, so I can't tell you what those 3 things are. Sorry. There's no need to allow them to grab daily usage data, Siri interactions, or access to your iCloud account. Oh, here's what the 3 things are. Daily usage data, Siri interactions, and access to your iCloud account. There's no reason they need access to that. Okay. These settings are important. I believe they make your device more secure, battery life lasts longer, and save you money on data usage. You can always go back in and change them if something doesn't work as expected. Before I forget, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something, or if you already knew all this, give me a thumbs up anyways. That'd be great. Anyways, back to the tips. All right. Here's setting number 4, also a privacy setting. So this is also like the one previously. This is Apple advertising. So we're going to turn off the Apple advertising setting. Settings, privacy, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the screen and choose Apple advertising. It's right under the last one. And just turn it off. It says it doesn't track you, and then it's designed to protect your privacy. I don't believe them though. By turning off personalized ads, it will still give you ads, but they won't be personalized. So if you were talking to your friends about getting a new car, you won't all of a sudden start getting a bunch of car ads. I don't know about you, but when that happens to me, it kind of creeps me out. So I know they're listening, and I know they're watching every little thing that you do, and that's how they create the ads that they're going to show you. And I don't like it. I know they're going to still be listening, and they're going to still be watching everything you do. But if the ads don't all of a sudden pop up about what you just spoke about, it'll make me feel a little better. Okay, privacy setting. This is number 5. This also saves your battery. Who really needs to know where you are at every single minute? Does Facebook need to know where you are? Where you're located, I guess? Does Scrabble need to know where you're located? Or Google? No. Let's change the location services settings. So, go into settings, privacy. Up at the top is location services. I would not turn it off entirely, but definitely change some of the settings. The list of programs on your phone will be there. You'll see next to it, never, while using, ask, or always. So never is one setting, while using is another setting, ask is another, and always by the side of it. You'll need to go one by one and see which ones you want to change. I would look for all the ones that say always and see if they really need to always know where you're located. This always setting not only invades your privacy, but it also is a huge battery drain because they are watching your every move always. So your phone is checking back constantly with your location. I mean constantly. So always, that's what it says. So that's using battery power. And it's also using your data. So this is important. And the next page is part 2 of this. So it's a kind of like a continuation. But I want you to really take this seriously. All the ones that say always, look at them and see, does that app really need to know where you are always? Or is it okay if that app just knows where you are while you're using it? Or does it never need to know where you are? Ask means it will ask you each time. Okay, so this is part 2 continued. It's a little bit more about what we just talked about. So this is a new setting. It's at the bottom of the list from the previous screen. System services. So where we just were in location settings, scroll all the way down past all the apps and you'll see system services. Click on that. If you see a solid purple arrow next to one of the apps, they are tracking your location right now. If you see a solid gray arrow, they have tracked you in the last 24 hours. This is per app, so each app is going to have a different colored little arrow or none at all. If there's no arrow, then they're not tracking you. If you see a hollow arrow, then geofencing is turned on for that app. What is geofencing? Well, it basically tracks you as you enter or leave a specific area. A store may have geofencing on to see when you enter the store or when you leave the store. When they see that you have just entered the store, they might send you a text with some coupon or something. If you are, if you have your app, let's say you go into Albertsons or whatever, and you use the Albertsons app for coupons and stuff. So they know who you are. You've got their app. You've signed in already. You walk into the Albertsons store. Now all of a sudden you're going to start getting some notifications. Hey, Albertsons is having a sale on chicken or whatever. So that's an example of geofencing and how they would use it. So if you have a hollow arrow, that's what that means. Personally, I would turn most everything off. Why would all these need to know your exact location? I play a lot of games on my phone, and the games don't need to know where I am. Facebook doesn't need to know where I am. Instagram doesn't need to know where I am. It's another business. These are the ones you should leave turned on and let them be always. Emergency calls and SOS for obvious reasons. Find My iPhone for obvious reasons. Network and wireless so that you can connect. And share my location. If you share your location with anyone, I share it with some people, so my kids. So you would want that on. But all the rest can be off. Or just while you're using the app. That's enough for most of them. A lot of them don't need to be on at all. So go through your list and really think about which ones need to be on or which ones can be off entirely. Okay, so now we're into battery saving settings. Let's lengthen your battery life. I'm anxious to see if these work. I just set some of them today. Some of these I didn't know about, so we'll see if it helps. So setting number 6 is a battery saving setting. So we're still in the privacy screen. So settings, privacy, location services, system services, right where we just were. Scroll down to the bottom of the screen and turn off iPhone analytics and routing and traffic. These sound like great things to leave on, but Apple, to help the Apple developers, but they don't need access to your data. They have access to it anyways. You don't have to give them permission to it. The more things that you have turned on, the more times your phone is going to connect back to them. And it's just using your data. It's using your battery. It's not necessary. Okay, setting number 7. Another battery saving setting, also data. Background app refresh. This setting allows the apps to keep running in the background. It is definitely not necessary to have things running in the background on your phone. Go to settings, then general, then background app refresh. So the top setting, you want to choose Wi-Fi. So if you choose Wi-Fi and cell data, then you'll use a lot of data with the apps refreshing in the background, and you're not even using them. Let's say you were playing Scrabble, and then you close, then you open up another app. So Scrabble goes to the background. It's not really closed. It just goes to the background. Now you're on the web for a little while. Okay, now you're going to go on Facebook. So now the web goes to the background. Now you're on Facebook. Okay, now you're going to go on Instagram. So Facebook just stays in the background. You're not closing any of these. They're just going into the background. So they're still running in the background. Facebook is constantly updating as new people post things, etc. So if you're using your cell data, it's constantly using data while it's in the background and you're not even looking at it. So if you set it to Wi-Fi, at least if the things are in the background open, they're not going to use any of your cell data. They're just going to connect once you're connected to Wi-Fi. So, the apps will sync once you're on Wi-Fi range, which is fine. If you're in your car and not connected to Wi-Fi and want to use one of these apps, you can. This background app refresh isn't going to affect the usage of any of the apps. It just means that while they're in the background, it's not going to use your cell data. I hope that makes sense. There are some apps that you want to keep current, but for most, as soon as you click on the app, it will refresh itself. So the background refresh is not necessary at all, because once you open up Facebook or whatever, it's going to go to the Facebook servers and get all the new data, and it's going to come right forward. So it doesn't need to be running in the background. So anyways, look through your list, make decisions. You can always go back in and change this if an app is not working and requires background refresh. I have 99% of mine turned off, and I've had no issues. So, there you go. Okay, so now the next ones are data plan saving settings. Don't use all your data. I'm going to show you how to save it. Okay, so setting number 8 is a data saving setting. It's also saves your battery. Mail. So mail has the potential to use tons of battery and data. Go to your main settings page, just the little gear, the gray gear. Scroll down to mail. I leave cell data on for mail because I check it a lot of times in the car. But if you don't regularly check your mail when out and about, you can turn that off. So click on accounts, then you'll see all your email accounts. Down at the bottom is a link that says fetch new data. Let's go to the next page here. So fetch new data. This setting tells the phone how to get the synced email from the email server to your phone. So push means that the mail is pushed to your phone from the mail server. This will use a lot of data because it will be connecting very often. The server is just going to keep, every time whenever, periodically, however often it does it, it will just connect to your phone and send you updates. Fetch means that the phone will fetch mail from the mail server. So it means that your phone is initiating the connection. Push means that the email server is initiating the connection. Manual means it will only check for new mail when the app is actually in use. So, settings for fetch. You'll see if you choose fetch, which is the one I would recommend, it'll say automatically, manually, hourly, every 30 minutes, or every 15 minutes. I have mine set to fetch hourly. This will have my mail client on my phone connect to the mail server once an hour to check for new mail. That doesn't mean that's the only time it's going to check for mail. Anytime I open the mail app, it will also, at that moment, go look for new mail. So I do it every hour so that in case I get a bunch of emails all at once, I don't have to wait for them to load when I open the mail app. So that means, over the last hour, I've gotten 8 or 9 emails. Most of them will already be there. And then I open the mail app, it'll check right then to see if there's any more. Setting number 9 is also a data saving setting. Photos. So photos can use up tons of cellular data if you're syncing that between your phone and iCloud or whatever, or your Photos app to view the photos from so the camera portion to the photos portion. There's no reason to have it using cellular. Just let it wait till you connect to Wi-Fi to sync up, because these files are big files. Videos and photos, they're larger files. So you don't want to use your cellular data. Just wait till you get to Wi-Fi. So here's the settings area. So you go to settings and then scroll down to cellular, then scroll down to photos and just turn it off. Your photos will still be there. They just won't sync up until you attach to Wi-Fi. This will save you so much data. You can thank me later. Okay, setting number 10 is another data saving setting. iCloud Drive. This can use a lot of data. There's no reason to have it connecting using cellular. Just wait till you connect to Wi-Fi to sync up, just like photos. There's no reason to have it syncing up, while you're driving around or whatever. So go into settings, cellular, scroll down to the bottom, iCloud Drive. Turn it off. It does not turn off your drive. It just doesn't allow it to use cellular data to sync your files. Once you get home or to work or whatever and you sync up to Wi-Fi, now it's going to sync. So it's not going to use up your data. Okay. Here's the last setting, setting number 11. This is a data saving setting. Safari. This is the browser that's built into your phone, your iPhone, iPad, whatever. This is another app that uses a bunch of data. So go to Settings and Safari and click on it. Towards the top, you want to turn off Preload Top Hit. This populates the opening page. When you first open Safari, it populates that page with the top hit with a popular website or whatever. It could have a video, photos, etc. on that page, which will load automatically. So you're using up data, loading something that you didn't even ask for. Turn that off and save some data. Close tabs. Well, I like having tabs to look back on. So I don't like to close them unless I know for sure I'm not going to use them anymore. But if you don't ever look back at those open tabs, click the Close Tabs setting and set it to close them automatically. Then you can choose a time frame, daily, weekly, whatever. When they're open in the background, they're using data. So you can save some data usage by automatically having them be closed by the app itself will close them. Privacy. I turn off the slider for check for Apple Pay when I go to a website. There's no reason to put that on there for them to try to hack. If they offer Apple Pay at checkout, you're going to know that and you'll be able to use it. There's no reason to have it check for it. I don't know. I don't see the reason for that. And hide IP address. This lets you hide your IP address from trackers. So this is a really important one. This is not data saving. This is more of a privacy setting, but it's a good one to add in there. So there you go. There's 11 settings that will save your data and save your battery and also protect your privacy. I hope this was helpful. I went through it kind of fast, so I decided to keep it like this in more of a presentation format so you can go back and look at the page for whichever one you're thinking about changing, and it tells you exactly where to make that setting change. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, more settings that you suggest for iPhone users or iDevices, I guess, put them down in the comments below. That would be fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. I'm sorry this was a longer video, but I just really wanted to get this out there because this is a new rollout of iOS 15, and I noticed so many of the settings were kind of sneakily turned back on where they were previously off. So there you go. Anyways, hope you're having a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.